Hey, it's been a while since I posted on here, and on here I mean Instagram. So I thought I'd shoot a video. I was inspired, to be quite honest. I woke up early and I heard the birds chirping, and as I was brewing my cup of coffee, I just felt inspired. I felt inspired to kind of shoot these morning videos for a while now, but um, my mind kind of goes in a place. Well, maybe you should be shooting like a Better with Troy if you're going to be doing some camera time. If you're going to be allocating time to shoot it for that, or shoot it for something else. So I said, you know what, let me kind of break that prism and just do what I feel like it. Sometimes you kind of create this manager in your head or principle in your head of where things have to be done a certain way. So I always try to break that when I can. It's with good intention. I'm thankful to have that system. It's got me a long way. But sometimes you have to check it. You have to override it. So I said, let me jump on this video. The birds are chirping. I'm feeling really, really good. And again, part of me waking up early is naturally I wake up either at six o'clock for the last couple of weeks, generally 7 o'clock, no matter what. I don't care if I'm out all night. I'm up at 7:30, and I'm thankful because for the last couple of weeks I've been getting a full night's rest, 7-8 hours. I've had a bit of sleeping issues for the last 2 or so months. Some of it, in large portion, work related. Just like staying up, being quote unquote inspired and just like not going to sleep until 1-2 in the morning, or even 3. Like I was skirting on 3, but then because my body naturally wakes me up at 7 or 6, I wasn't getting quality rest, right? My sleeping was interrupted, so I was kind of walking around a little bit foggy. So I said this needs to change because, I'm already doing my best to put 150 on the work thing, but that's impossible now because I don't have sleep. So it was just affecting me in so many areas. I just needed to kind of change that up. So one thing that really worked was I started to, and I do this even now, I put my phone on the charger in the living room. So it's in a whole different room. And I do that around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sometimes even before then. And that's helped me get a lot of sleep. It's just crazy how much that phone, you can just fall into that rabbit hole of just like swiping and looking and searching. So that helped tremendously. I still have my laptop, but I don't know, something about it, like it's not just like a click away like with the phone. Like you got to actually type in the URL. So I guess I appreciate that a little bit more. But yeah, that's a little bit on me in terms of just like health. I think a lot of people have been dealing with their own kind of challenges in terms of health during this time. Obviously there's the big challenge, which I won't utter because a lot of these videos nowadays, they get flagged, so I won't say it, but we know what it is. So there's the big health concern, but then there's these kind of sub issues under it, right? And one of them is sleep, depression, sense of loneliness, right? I think we've all kind of brushed a little bit of that. But for me, the big one that I had to face was sleep. I saw an interesting stat the other day that said the average, and I could be wrong, give or take a pound, but I'm pretty sure I'm in the right direction. On average, the average American, I think, gained 41 pounds during the pandemic thus far, which kind of makes sense. I think we all gain a pound or two. Even the most fit of us. I kind of have a pretty good regimen now, waking up early, get my little 15-minute 20-minute workout in, high intensity. But I think I've gained the most weight during the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, I know that for sure. And I know that because I took a trip it was either right when lockdown happened, like right around March, April, maybe around that time, maybe even right before. But I went to San Francisco, and I have to upload those photos. I have to upload a lot of photos, but I remember like we took pictures the first day or 2 days, and like that was the first, like we all have like a wake up call when it comes to weight. And I saw the photos and I was like, oh, I blew up. like you can't hide from it. It's just an angle thing. And I was like, oh, I gained weight. So I probably was up, I don't know, like 25 pounds. Like it was really it wasn't crazy, but for me, who's been working out since they were 13, 14, like I'm very, like working out, particularly when it becomes like kind of a lifestyle, you naturally are body conscious. And I don't say that in the kind of toxic way that it's uttered today, but just in a conversation around measurement. Like you just know where your natural body is, but that's being body conscious. So I'm body conscious. I know if I gain weight or if I look like I blew up a little bit or not. So that's really what inspired me, seeing those pictures, to get a bit fit. So again, we've all battled a little bit of weight loss, maybe some sleep. So those are kind of the two that I've been dealing with as of late, thankfully. But yeah, man, it's been rough, and I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be healthy. So I guess that's all you can ask for. You know, and more so even now, because you know I caught up with some friends from high school maybe 2 weekends ago, and it's so interesting. We've all been friends for 10 plus years, and you know, we've had conversations here and there, but you know, as you get older and life gets more complicated, you speak less. But it's so refreshing to have mature conversations at this point. You know, we're all in our late 20s, and you know, whereas maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, where they were very ego driven, maybe, you know, about who did what or who's on the come up. Now we're just, maybe the pandemic has helped a little bit, but now it's just kind of, we're just talking about life, you know, what the next stage of life looks like, what we want. We have people in our group who are, you know, engaged, thinking about engaged, who are married. So a lot of those conversations take on a different life. I'm very thankful for them because, particularly with like the married folk or the people that are in the way of becoming married, it's a great kind of opportunity for me to get some mentorship, just to kind of get a lens of what that stage looks like. I'm always fascinated by that. It's always also fun to kind of guess who's next, because you never know. So I've been having a lot of those conversations too about like the next stage of life. Again, which is refreshing because most of the conversations I have is about the professional world and, you know, what's next, you know, in terms of, you know, how you're going to pivot and position yourself and all this stuff. And it's great conversation. It gets you far. Obviously, these are with some smart people, but it's very, I much prefer, I guess, in some ways, just kind of organic, natural conversation. Like it brings ease to the mind, right? Because we generally have a lot of anxiety around like career and, you know, what we're going to do next. So just to talk about life, you know, and how you're doing mentally and physically and otherwise, you know, you're getting sleep, you know, it just feels good to have those natural conversations. So it was good to catch up with some of my friends from high school. We went to a Korean barbecue spot in Queens, and then we went over to a friend's house who's not too far, for some drinks. So that was very fun, man. And I hope to do more of that. You know, it seems that, you know, we're closing out of this dark period with the vaccines, and businesses are staying open later. So I'm very optimistic there. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to have got through this. I'm happy that a lot of my loved ones, friends, family alike, have gotten through it. We've all lost some as well. You know, everyone has at the very least, we have a friend of a friend who's unfortunately lost someone due to this great sickness that's passed over the world. But at the very least, we owe it to them now, coming out of this, to live life as best we can, right, with full gratitude and appreciation that we get to live and breathe another day.